Welcome to the Inspiring You Show. If we've ever met, I'm Henry. So, we are going to talk about space weather. My friends, many, many years ago, I started noticing that I was becoming aware of what was happening in space. And in regard to solar flares and other things, I could tell by what may be coming into Earth by what was happening in my physical body or other information. And at the time when I was sharing with people, people would be like, wait, what? You are saying that you can feel space weather? Yes, I know. What's amazing now is that more and more people on social media are talking about it. So it's really incredible. Yet, if you are someone who is highly aware, a highly sensitive person, an intuitive empath, somebody who strongly feels frequencies, you may also be experiencing this or have been experiencing it, which is why I want to talk about it more. So on Tuesday, we experienced a significant X7.1 solar flare that sent a coronal mass ejection CME toward Earth. So, y'all, before I even knew like what level of solar flare it was, when I woke up on Tuesday, I was like, oh, something's going on. I can feel it. And then throughout the day, I was getting major, just cold chills, and I could tell it was really just ancient stuff being cleared. And what's also interesting currently in Los Angeles, we've been going through a bit of a, heat wave where it had gotten cooler and now it's been a bit hotter. And so there was really no reason why that I was having this level of chills. If I was feeling physically great, but yet this cold that I was experiencing, I could tell it was just clearing really dense energy, not just from my own experience, but in regard to the earth, lineages, the ancestral energy field, the collective. And so then I found out that we experienced an X7.1 solar flare on Tuesday. And so, and then today we experience another powerful one, which is why I want to share this even more so, because I think that bringing this into the awareness can really support maybe more people. Okay, so solar activity is a natural part of this experience, but we may not have been aware of how sensitive we could be to it or what it could be doing to support us. So I look at it from like the highest good, like it's an opportunity for us to align with the cosmic energies flowing through our planet for the highest good. And in regard to the X7.1 solar flare that sent also a coronal mass ejection CME toward Earth on Tuesday. So that CME is expected to interact with our magnetic field, between late today and early Saturday with a strong geomagnetic storm up to, they're saying it could be up to G3, it could be G1, G2, G3 anticipated. So with this then, one of the amazing things is that it could create breathtaking auroras visible in the Northern U.S., which is incredible. So you want to watch the skies for that. And if you are living in that area, and also taking a moment to reflect on like what this means for us in terms of bringing gratitude as well. So with all of this, then the geomagnetic storm watches have been issued on October 3rd through the 5th due to the forecast arrival of the CME associated with the X7.1 flare that was observed on October 2nd. So that happened. And then, y'all, today, um, another powerful X9.05 solar flare erupted. I mean, y'all, I woke up today and on my right hand, my one of my index finger had so much inflammation and just swelling. I was like, oh, we're having some space weather, some space weather's coming in, and it feels like a solar flare because I'm starting to for a while I've been able to discern like when a solar flare is coming in. It has like this distinct feeling frequency for me. And so anyway, I understood this, and then I found out afterwards that indeed X9.05 solar flare erupted, and that. But what's interesting is that this X9.0 class solar flare is the most intense solar flare since 2017. 2017. So I mean, when my body is definitely letting me know, like, hey, something's happening, and so then with that, then really understanding that as Earth directed solar storm is highly likely, given the spot region is facing directly at Earth, and so the event is still actually in progress, and it's really too early to say anything about storm intensity and timing, but it's combined with the solar storm currently on its way to Earth. So things are obviously looking very favorable in a lot of ways, and with the aurora viewers specifically as well, because it should support that even more so. So, with all of this, though, it's still unclear whether a CME accompanied this flare, and we're reminded that these solar events are interconnected with our journey on Earth. And so when I tune in and ask like the guides like for support and help, they just remind me, the ascension teams remind me that that these CMEs serve a purpose as well. And so really asking then like what is that purpose? They can assist then in elevating our planet's vibration, supporting our own transformation into higher, versions of ourselves. That being said, though, there's also some things that can happen. So there can be challenges with satellite connections, GPS, cell, Wi-Fi, and earlier today there's a couple times when I was like, "Wait, my Wi-Fi doesn't seem to be working or my cell." And this was like right after I had woken up with my hand was slightly, had some inflammation in it. And I then did, a meditation, energy healing meditation, received information. And then I went to my fellow researcher called Google. And I just went into the science sites, to see because they monitor a lot of different sites, monitor things happening to then get more information specifically. But I had already known because I had received the information because my body was also alerting to me what was happening. And so that's what I really want to talk about is symptoms of space weather, symptoms of like solar flares, and how also it can also mean, a clearing of dense energies. So as we connect with these cosmic energies, it's really, in my experience, essential to be mindful of the physical and the emotional and the mental symptoms that can arise during this space weather solar flares. So, as we receive these higher light frequencies, it's essential to acknowledge that our bodies must also clear away any kind of dense energy that's being called to be cleared. And then this process may also involve like releasing old patterns, traumas, and emotional blockages that no longer support us, and the clearing can sometimes be a bit challenging. And in that, it's like, wait, what's happening here? And that's why I want to talk about it more to bring it out more and that let's speak about this because it also, with the space weather coming in, it can manifest in various physical and emotional and mental symptoms. And I know, y'all, the symptoms, it's like so many symptoms could be coming from something. And so I just want to bring this awareness to it so that way you can start asking your body what is really going on here. And once you have the expanded of the consciousness information, you then can ask different questions to your body, which then can support you, hopefully receiving the information that's being called for you to receive. Okay, so one of the symptoms could be fatigue. a sense of wariness as your body works to release what no longer is needed, and also is trying to acclimate to the higher light energies coming in. Also, another symptoms could be headaches, discomfort as your discomfort as your energetic system recalibrates. So it could be headaches. And so then it also could be mood swings, fluctuations in emotions as you navigate the release of dense energy, because there could be something where it's like, oh, that doesn't feel comfortable. And you could feel slightly irritated or in, angst, or like there could be also maybe in your solar plexus some powerlessness that's being called to be cleared, and you all of a sudden feel like a wave of nausea, of anxiety in your stomach. And it could be that this higher light energy coming in is supporting clearing, and then also allowing you then to shift to a higher vibrational frequency. Another symptom could be anxiety or even restlessness. Feelings of unease may surface as you let go of old energies. Could also be really feeling really cold, like I mentioned. Could also be sleep disruptions, changes in sleep patterns as your body adapts to new frequencies, physical aches and inflammation, increased inflammation or discomfort in the body, reflecting the release process. Heightened intuition, a growing sensitivity to energies and insights as as your system becomes more attuned to the higher vibrations. You might also feel dehydration, vertigo, digestive issues, feeling off, temperature changes, which I mentioned for me was the cold. You could be feeling cold hands, feet, or overall cold, mood swings, swelling, ungrounded, agitation, anxiety, angst. So if you are feeling any of these things, see what's really going on here and then asking yourself the questions. Also within this, then really understanding that it's about clearing any of the dense energies, acclimating to the higher light energies. Your body sometimes takes time to acclimate to the higher light energies. It's much like if you've ever gone to the mountains where you have to acclimate to the altitude. That is what it's like for your body. You are acclimating to the higher light energies. And so, if you've ever gone mountain climbing before, you don't want to just go up the mountain really quick if you haven't acclimated to the altitude, because you could get altitude sickness. And so, that's why grounding is really important, also using your energy tools to clear any dense energies. Then can and because once you clear away the dense energies, we can become readily acclimating to the higher light entering our beings. So this light acts as a catalyst for transformation, supporting our journey toward a more expanded consciousness and deeper understanding of our divine purpose as well. So with that, then, also taking time to just support and see what you need in terms of, as you're aligning with these transformative energies and opening yourself to the higher light that is flooding into our planet. What do you need to support yourself? What does your human need? And so that will then support you embracing the change, which this month, one of the themes is transition, really being able to allow yourself to embrace change. And with transition, it might mean that you're kind of in that in between state where you've started the aspect of transformation, but you haven't quite fully moved into the full physical aspect of transformation yet. You could be in the in between, in the transition state. And so that's where then using your tools to embrace change and doing meditation, doing the practice to bring in patience as well. And sometimes with the physical body, sometimes the shifts can happen like quickly, but sometimes it does take like a couple days or even 21 days or a month for the full system to be acclimated to, the higher light energy coming in. That being said, though, the more that you use energy tools and practice, the easier it gets in terms of riding the waves. And by easier, I don't mean that you're still not getting caught in some of the symptoms. I just mean you recognize it faster, like, oh, this is what's happening. Let me double down on the tools to support myself. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to also feel some of the discomfort, though. Like I said, I woke up today, with inflammation in my right hand, on my index finger. I also have have had some stuff going on with my stomach in terms of digestive stuff, visiting the old bathroom a few times in terms of my own clearing process, which is also, if I hadn't already known what was going on, I might be like, wait, what is happening? Did I eat something? No, y'all. I have not, because today I've had like, because I understood what was happening, I made sure that the food that I've been eating was going to support what is going on in regard to, helping me ground, and also making sure that I'm not eating foods that would even bring in more agitation to my system as I'm acclimating to these new higher lights coming in. So, with that, then, just checking in to see though what you need and use your tools. And then just remembering that, some of the reflection questions are, how can I support myself moving through this? Are there any tools that I need to bring into my practice more, or do I need to practice more? And also knowing that, even with all of this happening, just remember, from that grander perspective, that this truly is a time of illumination where we are really shifting into that golden living light, in terms of our planet, and also those who are really shifted into the path of ascension. We are awakening to our true potential even more so, ready to remember who we are, stepping into the next phase as well in terms of our own light journeys. And so, with that, remember you are a radiant embodiment of light in this human experience. And I know that it can be really difficult or hard, or like, oh my God, what's happening next? Like, oh, I understand that. So I have a lot of compassion for that, because y'all, I'm there with you. I know. I wake up one morning feeling great, and the next morning I'm like, holy moly, what just happened? And so, but the more that you use your tools and just bringing compassion for your human experience, humaning is amazing, but can be challenging. And just bringing in that compassion, and just remembering from that grander perspective, that we really are awakening to our true light potential and ready to, remembering who we really are. So understand that you are a radiant embodiment of light in this human experience. And this is at this time this is part of the process here. And it doesn't mean that, it's going to be here the entire time. Who knows? It could shift in the next couple months, next couple years, but just know that at this time, this is the process here. And understanding this brings in the greater expansiveness for yourself in terms of consciousness, as well as the greater connectivity of understanding the greater expanse of the universe and how we're all connected with it as well. And so, let yourself take, time, support yourself, do some mindful practices as well. Do some deep breaths. Actually, let's do 3 deep breaths right now. Close your eyes, take a nice deep breath, bringing in and filling your lungs with love, light, wonder, peace, joy, harmony. Breathing out what no longer supports you. Taking another deep breath. Breathing out, taking another deep breath. Breathing out, taking a moment to give gratitude, and then take another deep breath. Bring awareness behind your eyes, open your eyes, and welcome back. All right, my friend. So make sure to use your energy tools or any other tools that are calling to support you. Bring a ton of compassion for yourself, and also be curious when something is going on, like what's really happening here? And then ask yourself that like 5 more times, because there's the surface level of it. And then you have to continue asking, like, what's really happening here? And then also letting yourself receive the information as strange as the information may seem, or weird. Like when I started getting the information about like, oh, this is space weather, I was like, oh, huh. I'm not sure I can say that out loud right now. And then it just kept coming in and happening. So then eventually I was like, y'all, this is what's going on. And there were a few people that definitely raised some eyebrows at me like, Say what? But that's where you have to really just trust your connection to yourself, the information coming in, as strange as it might sound, as weird as it might sound. It's just information. Like, how may that help you? And so once I had the consciousness on it, I was like, okay, so if it's solar flares coming in, how can I work with the sun? How can I ask to, clear and then acclimate the energy coming in to support my human? And so I look at it as that. And I also try to really look at it as taking the information and putting in practice in a practical way. Like, what is the practical way of bringing in this information? And so I always look at information as something that could be, when it's ready, inspiring, actionable, and not just information that is just being said and there's no practical aspect of it for my humaning. So I'm looking at it as like, what is the point of this information? And how do I then support myself in terms of my greater beingness, and also the practicality of it. So that's how I use it. You might also be called differently with it, and that's completely amazing. And I would love to hear that as well. So, with that, that's it for now, my friends. Make sure to use your tools. And also, please, if you are watching this on my podcast or YouTube or wherever, please like, subscribe, comment. I would love to hear from you. Also, if you have any other tools or anything else that you use to support yourself, I'd love to hear about that as well. So with that, my friends, much, much love. Until soon.